So looking at the, once again, back at the barn. Up there's a Riviera blue Toronado, and this is the giant spider infested 67 Toronado with the really bad mold in it. What was interesting, I haven't been back in a while due to issues, life and holidays. But so I used concrobium on the mold on the door just to try it out. And it does seem to quickly abate the mold. Of course, I'm completely aware of how long it would take to clean the car. But what's interesting is that the concrobium did a pretty amazing job just spraying it on and just wiping it right off. If you can take a look in there, I just did a quick spray on that door panel. That one I didn't do, so you can see the difference, just a spray, not even a wipe. Just wanted to try it out. So it does a pretty interesting job about kind of cleaning out the mold. I also just did a light spray inside the car, and that dramatically reduced the smell. So I'm gonna just do a little spray in here again, and just to see how it kind of reduces this, just a crazy amount of mold in here. Because that'll be kind of a test on how well it will work on other cars. But it's doing a really good job. Once again, this was this repainted, I think it's a repaint anyways. 67, yeah, it's a repaint. Get the blue in there. So it's a cool color, but so at least have the back door open and get a little more light in here. New voltage regulator, all that. Did the same thing with the blue. I did wipe it down on the blue, so it looks tremendously better. Just with one spray, and then let it sit for about 10 minutes and then a wipe. Quickly kind of just cleaned it right off. The inside of the car doesn't smell just like terrible like it did before. It actually, it's just livable. I'm wearing a mask and everything still, but I also sprayed concrobium on, let it sit on the leather, wiped it right off, and then immediately sprayed saddle soap on the leather. So just at least, you know, add some moisture to the hides and see if that'll do anything. And of course I put basically a dry bag in the car just to leave it in, but I'm gonna keep poking around. See if I can get the engine on this car turned over. Last time I was here I didn't take any video, but I pulled the plugs. The plugs, some of them just, even with the special socket, they just snapped right off. I don't know if that's a bad sign or looks like it was running lean. I didn't find any water or anything in there, but each cylinder had got a dose of Marvel Mystery Oil. So maybe today I'm gonna give it a try and see if I can at least get the motor to hand crank over. Just getting access to the crank bolt is going to be a pain. I'll give it a try though. Also see if I can get some air on the tires. I brought a more beefy compressor with me today. So this is the 66 blue Toronado. Went ahead and added some more mystery oil to the block. I have another video earlier I took about it. So getting to the crank so I can see if I can hand crank it over is going to be a pain in the rump. I'm probably going to have to pull the radiator, which means disconnecting, you know, all the hoses, automatic transmission, lines, etc. So that will be fantastic. If there's anybody who can provide any sort of better guidance on maybe experimenting on how to see if there's an easier way to kind of crank it over, let me know. Tires, try to inflate them. They're just, the beads are broken. So what I have to do is jack the car, pull the tires reset the tires on the rims and then inflate them. But they're not torn, at least on the blue one. What's hilarious is that, add a charge pack so I can get lights back in the car. It all works. It's hilarious that still after all these decades, you can get power back to the dash. And, there's an oil pressure problem. I wonder why. For some reason, the fan's still on. It's kind of stupid. But as you can see in the previous video, I kind of went through and cleaned it a bit just to reduce the mold, drop the dry bag in here. I do that with the other car. Go from there. And I guess the next step is get the tires up. See if I can see under the car. I looked under the car. There's like 5 inches of clearance from the car to the ground. The gas tank looks good. What I could see of the frame looks good. But, take that with a grain of, or several bags of salt. But I'm going to I need to jack the cars up, reinflate the tires, and see what I got from there. Once again, I know these are been sitting since 1995, so the odds of them being even, we'll see. There's work to be done, obviously. That's an understatement. But I was at least able to get some electricity back. The electrical system seems to, at least, even with the battery that's dead as, a doornail, get something back to take a look around. I'm going to take a look at the 67.